Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about in our weather unit is the severe weather. So this goes with learning targets 34 and 35. Uh, Describe how severe weather is created and why weather varies from day to day. Describe how we predict weather, the tools, and what is being measured. So our essential question for today is what conditions are necessary for severe weather? So let's first talk about thunderstorms. Thunderstorms form when you have low pressure. Remember, that's warm air rising. It's going to create those clouds. Convection currents, warm air rising, cold air sinking, can cause a cumulus cloud to grow into a cumulonimbus. A cumulus cloud is just a big white puffy cloud. A cumulonimbus cloud is a big white puffy cloud that is a lot larger. It grows vertically in height and it contains a lot of moisture. So this is a cumulonimbus cloud. And of course, along with our wonderful thunderstorms, we can have tornadoes. And these are some other severe weather that can occur. Hurricanes, lightning, those can all occur with um, low pressure systems. So in order for a thunderstorm to form, you have to have a certain amount, you have to have some conditions. The first condition is you have to have warm air. So you have to have a lot of moisture, a lot of humidity in the lower levels of the atmosphere. Then you've got those cumulus clouds that start to form. The moisture condenses and releases heat, so the cloud is warmer than the surrounding air. So the cloud is starting to release some of that warm air that's being able to rise, so it is warmer than the cold air that surrounds it. Now, this video is located also on the website, and I'd also like you to go through it. It talks about the different cloud types, how they form. You need to watch this video along with this one, and again, it's located on the website. So it kind of goes a little fast. Okay, the second thing that needs to occur in order for thunderstorms to form is some sort of lift. This is a mechanism to lift air. Mountains can be the mechanism, sea breezes and fronts can lift the air. So let's take a look at that. So here's our mountains. You've got some air. The mountain's going to cause that air to lift. Form a cloud. The cloud gets larger. Okay, so those are the two conditions that need to occur in order for a thunderstorm to form. Now the results of a thunderstorm: flash floods, 89 km/h winds up to. Now another thing that can form is a tornado. So a tornado is a warm air mass and front. It's a rotating column of air in contact with the ground. The winds are at different heights and they blow at different speeds. That's what creates the tunneling effect. Tornadoes will travel on average of 118 to 500 kilometers per hour. So let's take a look and see how this tornado forms. So you've got rotating columns of air. They're traveling at different speeds and at different directions. So that can kind of give you an idea of how big tornadoes can be. Some of them can be as wide as 2 miles long. Okay, another severe weather is hurricanes. Hurricanes are the most powerful storm. They have more force than tornadoes. Hurricanes form over warm water at low pressure systems. So they rotate counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Hurricanes are going to turn heat energy from the ocean into wind, which is kinetic energy. So now we have an energy transformation occurring. The minimum for the winds is 119 kilometers per hour. Now, hurricanes must have warm water to keep their heat energy going. So when hurricanes reach land, they actually lose their energy because there's not as much warm air. And so when they hit land, that's usually when they stop. Now, where we find most of our hurricanes are in the Atlantic and Pacific near the equator because that's where your warm water is. You're not going to find hurricanes in cold oceans because you don't have enough moisture. Okay, there's a link also on the website under the note outlines to a hurricane website. You can watch hurricanes as they hit land, kind of see what happens. Gives you a lot of information about the hurricanes. So this is there for you to look at as well. Okay, so now that we know some severe weather and kind of how dangerous they are, we need to make sure we can predict weather. So what we use to help predict our weather is a forecast. So the scientists who predict weather are called meteorologists. Just so you know, if you ever want to go into a career fair where you can be wrong almost every day, you can become a meteorologist because they sometimes get the weather wrong and they have no consequences for that. And that's just because weather changes so fast. So meteorologists, we use satellites to look at cloud coverage, see how much water is in the atmosphere. They use radars for wind speed. You kind of see the same thing on police cars. And hopefully you will never have that happen to you. A bayou is a floating device that detects ocean currents, so that can help find out if we have tsunamis that are occurring. And you're actually going to be doing an activity where you're going to be reading a weather map and you're going to have to predict the weather, and you're going to do a lot of practice activities with this. So you're going to get a lot more practice with predicting the weather. So hopefully you've got a better understanding of what causes severe weather. Low pressure systems, warm air, or warm ocean water is going to create those thunderstorms, tornadoes, and hurricanes. Please make sure again that you go to and watch the cloud video. It kind of talks to you about the different types of clouds. And you can also look at the information on hurricanes.